Hey guys, it's Mrs. Knight. Right now I'm on practice book page 222 of the Inventions Journal. Today we are going to read How Ben Franklin Stole the Lightning, just a little snippet of it. If you want the full story, you can go to the classroom website. Under reading, there's a read aloud video so you can learn all about Benjamin Franklin and all the inventions that he created. As we read today, we are going to look for problems and solutions. These will be any inventions that Benjamin Franklin created to solve people's problems. Now, I was supposed to give you guys a couple pages for you to follow along with how Benjamin Franklin stole the lightning. Unfortunately, the printer wasn't working at the time. So please just go ahead and follow along with me as I read, and then we'll work on this practice book page together. If I can find it, sorry guys. Okay, so we're just going to look at this little snippet of how Benjamin Franklin stole the lightning. I want or wish that we could read it all together, but unfortunately we probably just don't have the time. So I'll go ahead and read these couple paragraphs and we'll see if we can come up with any problems or solutions. It says, in colonial days, fire could break out at any time, and it was lightning that caused some of the worst fires. Whenever thunderstorms were brewing, they would ring the church bells for all they were worth, but it didn't do anybody a lick of good. Of course, after Ben stole the lightning, there weren't nearly as many fires for firefighters to put out. Now, why was that, I hear you ask? And how did he steal any lightning in the first place? Well, it's a long story, but before we get to the answer, here's the hint. One of the things Benjamin Franklin liked to do best was to make inventions. Now, I see that there's a problem in these two paragraphs. I know that lightning was causing homes to set on fire. I don't quite know what the solution was yet, though, so I don't want to write it down quite yet. It does say that Benjamin Franklin stole the lightning, but I don't know what invention that was yet. I may have to keep reading to find out more. Let's go to these next couple paragraphs. It says, why, Ben was a born inventor. He loved to swim fast, but he wanted to go even faster. So one day, when he was a mere lad of 11, he got some wood and invented swim paddles for his hands and swim fins for his feet. Ben could go faster all right, but the wood was pretty heavy and his wrists got plumb worn out. That's why his second invention was a better way to go fast. He lay on his back, held onto a kite string, and let his kite pull him lickety-split across the big pond. You might want to remember later on that Ben always did like kites. Ben kept right on inventing better ways to do things for the rest of his life. Take books, for example. Ben read so many books that some of them sat on shelves way up high near the ceiling. So he invented the library chair. If he pulled up the seat, out popped some stairs to help him reach any books on high shelves. And in case climbing stairs made him dizzy, he invented a long wooden arm that would grab his books too. So I do see that there were a couple problems in these few paragraphs and solutions or inventions that Benjamin Franklin created. I know that he wanted to swim faster, so his first invention were some swim fins and paddles. When they were too heavy, instead he used a kite string and let his kite pull him across the pond. The next problem that he had, sometimes Benjamin Franklin would want to get these books up high, but he couldn't reach them. So he created a library chair that had different steps to reach it. When that became too scary, then he created this long wooden arm to reach books. So those were two examples of problems and solutions. Let's go ahead and fill out our organizer. So I know that the first problem is that Ben Franklin wanted to swim faster. That was a problem that he had. So the solution, I know there were two different solutions. Ben Franklin, or we can just say he, because we know who we're talking about now. He created swim paddles for his hands and feet. Or maybe you want to say your solution is that he was able to swim with a kite that pulled him across the ocean, or across the water, sorry. So just remember, if you don't like the answers that I have here, you can put it in your own words. Just make sure you have complete sentences with capitals and periods. The next problem that we had, that we read about, is that Ben Franklin had trouble. Keep doing that today. Sorry, guys. Let's try that one more time. Ben Franklin, had trouble reaching books that were up high. Because he had trouble reaching the books up high, I know there were also two different inventions for this one as well. So you could talk about the library chair. I'm going to talk about the wooden arm that he created. He created a long wooden arm that reached up high to grab books near the ceiling. So let me go ahead and try and make this a little bit more organized so that we can read it a little bit better. Sorry guys, thank you for being patient. Okay, that's much better. Okay, so please go ahead, catch up with me. Make sure you have your first 4 boxes filled out. If you need time to write, hit pause, hit play when you're ready to move on. So we're going to go back to the story. We just have this one last page to read. We're going to see if we can come up with at least one more problem and solution. But I don't know if I've figured out why or what he created to stop those fires, homes from setting on fire. So I want to maybe leave that for my last one. That'll kind of be extra credit. If you go online to the big video, you can find the answer to that. So first, let's go ahead and see if we can get one more problem and solution, then we'll talk about that last box. So it says, he also invented an odometer that told how far he had ridden to deliver the mail, and the first clock with a second hand, and he even thought up daylight saving time. Then he invented bifocals so older folks could see up close and far away without changing glasses. Everybody and his brother and sister just had to find better ways to heat their houses in the wintertime. So Ben came up with a Franklin stove that could warm up cold rooms faster and use a lot less wood than old-fashioned stoves and fireplaces. People all over Europe and America loved Ben's glass harmonica. This instrument could spin wet glass bowls to make music that sounded like it came straight from heaven. Mozart and Beethoven wrote music for it, and it even played at a royal Italian wedding. But as popular as warmer stoves and glass harmonicas were, they weren't anywhere near as celebrated nowadays as the invention Ben made after he stole the lightning. Another hint about Ben's most famous invention is that it helped make life easier for everyone. His scientific ideas were helpful too, and were often way ahead of their time. For example, he had a lot of ideas about health. He said that exercise and weightlifting help keep folks fit, and they have to work hard enough to sweat if they want to do any good. He wrote that breathing fresh air and drinking lots of water are good for you. He was the guy who said an apple a day keeps a doctor away. And before anyone had ever heard of vitamin C, he wrote that oranges, limes, and grapefruit give people healthy gums and skin. Sailors soon got wind of this idea. They began eating so many limes to stop getting sick from scurvy at sea that they became known as limeys. So there were a lot of different inventions that he had here. I might go ahead and talk about the bifocals. So right here it says he invented bifocals so older folks could see up close and far away without changing glasses. So I'm going to go ahead and look at this next problem and solution. So Ben Franklin, this is a little tricky because I don't think it's Ben Franklin that had the problem. So let me think about this one. Let's go right here. And we'll say Ben Franklin created bifocals so people wouldn't have to change the glasses they were wearing. So I have to think about what problem people would have had before. If bifocals made it so they didn't have to change their glasses, that's what I'm going to put here. People would have to switch glasses when they were trying to see things better. There I went backwards. Like first I thought of the solution, then I thought, well, what would the problem be? Even though the book didn't necessarily say it. So guys, I want you to fill in the first 3 rows. This last one, like I said, is going to be extra credit, okay? So extra credit. Now, what I want you guys to do, I know that in the beginning of the story, we talked about how people's homes, or we'll say lightning caused people's homes to set on fire. We know that it said Ben Franklin stole the lightning, but I still don't know what invention he created to make it so that lightning wasn't causing people's homes to set on fire. So, for extra credit, please go online, watch the read aloud video, see if you can find the answer to this, and we'll see who all does this last row here. You're only required to do the first three. I would really like to see that fourth one done as well. So good job, guys. You got your last graphic organizer done for the day. Good luck with your other assignments, and I will hopefully see you guys soon.